On behalf of the Sisters of Charity of St. Augustine, I welcome you to this celebration of Jubilee. Sister Jane Lamb and Sister Catherine Walsh, 50 and 60 years of faithful service.
I am sure they are a little embarrassed by the fuss being made over them today. Over the last few weeks, I spoke with the Jubilarians to talk about what this milestone in their lives meant for them. Whenever I tried to get them to talk about themselves, I got very few details. Instead, they spoke of gratitude, thankful that they have been greatly loved by Jesus and have done nothing remarkable to deserve it. They're surprised that out of all the holier women, out of all the more intelligent, more talented people, God spoke Catherine and Jane, "Come, follow me."
Catherine Walsh became a nun in 1958.
It was a very good decision for me. It was the right decision, and it was not necessarily the easiest, but it was the right one. And it has brought a lot of fulfillment into my life.
So when I immigrated here, she was already in the convent. So I don't know anything about boyfriends or anything.
I often say that the gentleman that I said no to, it was very good for him too, because I would not have been, the wife or mother he was looking for in the long run, because I was too restless.
She spent her first 5 years on mission in Cleveland, Ohio, working with children from troubled backgrounds.
I was with residential children that were put in residence because of many problems in their family, personal problems, school problems, social problems. I was then what they would call the house mother. That was a very important relationship in their growth and their overcoming any trauma that has been in their life, and God knows there was plenty. It was a very precious, important job for me, too. It wasn't a job. It was really based on relationship. Now, we also had to do everything else, too, the food, clothing, and shelter, but the core of what we did was the relationship with each individual and the group as a whole.
Our congregation was founded in the mid-1800s, and we were invited to come to the Diocese of Cleveland by the first bishop. He basically had a need in this young diocese for education, healthcare, and social services. And over the years of the existence of our congregation, we have been able to respond to the needs of the people that we serve.
Sister Catherine continued to live out her calling in Cleveland from 1967 to 1988. Among other things, she engaged in pastoral ministry, education, and community organizing in the inner city parish of Epiphany Catholic Church.
I felt like she was ahead of us in terms of what was coming out as a theology for the church to minister in the Black community and how to liberate us culturally to be who we needed to be.
She introduced me to another part of Catholicism that I had not been a part of before. We got to learn about Black people in the Catholic Church, and it made a difference in my life.
She was a bold pioneer in this community.
But she was so real. She was just a real person. She was fearless. I mean, when she said something about going out door to door, and you say, well, it's dangerous. Oh, you don't have to worry about that.
As the civil rights movement unfolded in the 1960s, civil unrest was felt across the nation. Unfair housing practices such as redlining forced African Americans into ghettos, which were then considered problems that needed containment. In Cleveland, harsh police tactics and denial of basic services in these areas created conditions that directly resulted in the deadly Huff riots of 1966. The Sisters of Charity of
St. Augustine
stepped into this breach and greatly influenced the social service structure that would eventually emerge by providing guidance, education, food, and housing to those in need of support. This movie focuses on Sister Catherine, but it is most important to note that she was, and is, part of a whole community of sisters who have been able to make a dramatic impact by working collectively.
We have a way of life that is about community, it's about living together, coming out of the source of our life, which is God's love for us.
I think that I grew up as a responsible adult in that place, in that ministry. First of all, I was very much out of my element. You know, it's like I wasn't in my comfort zone. Whatever racial barriers that were there that I didn't even know about, that I had to own and face. And I had no idea what white privilege was. I didn't feel that I came from a privileged background, but I learned I did have white privilege. Learned it pretty much firsthand.
I never experienced my own mother or my father. I don't even know who they are. Sister Catherine raised me. She told me what I was supposed to do as a woman. I love her. She was my teacher. She was my sister. She was the mother that I never had.
She was very interested in preparing people to be certified pastoral ministers because there were not any African American, I believe, pastoral ministers in the Diocese of Cleveland. It was also the right of women to take a role in the church. Right. And I think she was very, concerned about that, being in leadership roles in the church, which women were not part of. Right. They were mostly dominated by males.
Whenever I speak with or about women religious, particularly the Sisters of Charity of St. Augustine, I kind of feel like I am the moon trying to give some light to the sun. Now, more than ever, you are the authentic face and the voice of the church today.
She had this way of involving you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But when you got involved, you felt it was your idea.
Sister Catherine was very, I won't say demanding, because I love her. But sometimes when I saw her coming, I just wanted to run.
You don't cross a sister.
I'm 65 years old, and Sister Catherine still can tell me what to do. Can I just say it like that?
Even though she's been out of the community for a long time, mm-hmm. She's still in my life. She's still in my heart. She's still in my success. Mm-hmm.
And when I left there, I told them, I said, you break my heart, but in such a good way, and so I hope that when I go to El Salvador, my heart will be broken again,
Sister Catherine arrived in El Salvador towards the end of the civil war between the U.S.-backed military government and the Farabundo Martin National Liberation Front. The U.S.-backed Salvadoran military was responsible for a number of human rights violations, including terrorizing and murdering civilians. Over 75,000 people were killed during the war, among them the Archbishop of San Salvador, Oscar Romero, and 4 female missionaries, 2 of whom were from Cleveland.
The Marron community and the Cleveland mission did not leave because members got killed. Their members got killed. So that the people really had a great confidence. They wanted us there because we were also part of the protection and the eyes. We could give a testimony where they never could be believed. There were dangers. There were dangers during the war in El Salvador. Our fear mostly came from military because we were any missionary, any group that was helping the poor was looked on as enemy. You're subversive. You know, you don't carry arms, you don't do this, but you're subversive. Because we believed and taught that each person has human rights given by God, by the very fact that they're human, and that it's not the government who gives it to them. I did a lot of training and studying of active nonviolence before I went. You learn how to prevent, you learn how to walk into a situation that's violent and de-escalate. It's your language, it's your demeanor. When somebody threatens you, how do you speak back to that? I have used the technique many, many, many times, many times. And it isn't just when you're in a war zone, it's an everyday kind of thing. None of us are expert at it, but I think it's the first thing is to take care of your own fear. You know, am I afraid? And if I'm afraid, the other person is going to know. Do you put yourself in danger when you do direct, active nonviolence? Yes. Yeah, you do. But do you deeply believe that the other person has a soul and a conscience, and they're human, and you treat them with the humanity and the respect that they deserve?
Sister Catherine's mission in El Salvador involved working with the poorest segment of the population to teach basic literacy, nutrition, and alternative farming practices. She also helped get water into remote villages, obtain shoes and uniforms for school, and provide leadership training.
I think Sister Catherine came to El Salvador with a lot of personal experience that prepared her in a way that was unique to the rest of us. She came from Ireland, and I think she came in some ways from conditions similar to what some of our people live in El Salvador. In other words, a rural, probably not easy access to water, transportation, and that gave her a certain empathy and also credibility and ability to respond to needs.
I grew up with Catherine on a little farm in County Mayo. She was a very good sister, bit bossy, but you know, she got things done. We were drawing water from the well, and we were in somebody's field, and she said, "Oh, there's a bull in the field." And I ran as fast as I could and fell and hit my head on the bucket. Not so good.
Was there a bull?
No bull.
There was no bull. No bull. Moral of the story, no bull.
Sister Catherine had the trust and the confidence of people. She'd visit people in their home. And often that's a sacrifice because people don't live very close or near, you know. And the presence, being present to people, going to their houses, entering into their lives, is a beautiful thing.
Sister Catherine tells the story of a family in El Salvador whom she gifted a laying hen.
I went to visit them, and I could see that they really were very poor. They lived on the edge, and in the edge of the town, and the edge of society, and on the edge as far as that they have enough to eat each day. So I took the hen, and I think I took the egg, and I went to visit her, and I gave her the hen. But it came back, and it had chickens. It laid eggs and had chickens. And it was the little boy's birthday. And so she prepared the chicken for the boy's birthday. And he was licking his fingers. He was just having such a good time. And he looked at his mom and he said, "This is the bestest birthday I have ever had." Then the rainy season came, and the dry bank that he crossed every day was now filled. He went out in the water and got swept away and got drowned. That probably was one of my key moments in El Salvador, because it encapsulated what can happen, all the things that can happen, all the ways there is to die, all the ways there is to live, you know. That stays with me to today. I don't often think about it, because when I do, I end up very emotional about the whole thing.
Sister Catherine left El Salvador to return to Northeast Ohio for what she called a reverse mission. After witnessing so many Salvadorans make the journey north to the United States, it became her mission to be here for them and other immigrants when they arrive.
Before I started, I wanted to see how they came into the country. Okay, so I did a week on the border. Their first stop was at the Catholic Worker in Houston, and they had come through the desert. It was just eye-opening. Oh my gosh. It's like her feet, the feet are swollen. They're full of thorns from the cactus. Their shoes are totally gone. They are exhausted. They're dehydrated. How they're treated there by the people at the Catholic Worker is just marvelous, you know. And they bring with them so many of the gifts, the determination, the abilities that they had back home, and that brought them through all of this to where they are today.
Take it. Who knows this? No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. Louder!
We're here in downtown Cleveland and at a rally for the immigrants. This is a very, very important issue because it's a human rights issue. It's a moral issue. The moral issue is that we're separating children from their parents. This country is not about separating families. This country is about taking in families. We really think about who we are. As an immigrant, I came in here. It was easy for me, but it's not easy for other people. They are treated as criminals. They're not criminals. They're here to make a living, to raise their families. No human being is illegal on the face of the earth. Catholic Worker actually it's a movement. It's started by Dorothy Day. There's two aspects to it. One is you care for the poorest and the marginalized, you know, and you advocate. And then the other one is you change the system. Now, that's the biggie, you know. So I think trying to change the system since.
In addition to her social activism, Sister Catherine has advocated for immigrants in Akron for the past 20 years. She and others worked together to open the first Catholic worker house in 1998.
It's a house that opens its door to everyone. It's a home. And Sister Catherine she's a mama bear, and she takes care of the home and she takes care of you.
Guests just came for us. We didn't look for guests, we didn't advertise, they just came. And we took anybody if they knocked on the door.
Yo por lo menos llegué aquí y no conocía a nadie, no sabía cómo era este país tampoco. Tenía que ir a trabajar, pero no tenía quien me la cuidara. Entonces Sister me dijo, está bienvenida a venir a la casa. Entonces nos fuimos a vivir allá. El apoyo que nos daban en muchas cosas, muchas, sobre todo afectivamente, que eran lo más importante. Uno se sentía solo y tenía compañías hablando el mismo idioma. Y era mi familia. Yo contaba con ellos porque no tenía más. No, hasta ahora no tengo sino a mi hija aquí.
I'm very thankful for Sister Catherine for having us in her house, and I'm very thankful that she always helped us through difficult times, and I love her so much.
My favorite thing about Sister is she makes supper on Sundays, and she's very nice.
Gracias por toda la ayuda que me da, Sister, por cuidar a mis hijos cuando yo tengo que salir.
She let us come into her home, and she gave us good life tips and good cooking tips, and she always translated with my mom every time we went to like serious appointments or something like that.
Well, first of all, when we bought the house and saw people move in when everybody else was moving out, it was like, what are they? What are they doing? We actually had people come on our porch to sell us drugs. It was that open. And then he said, I think I'm in the wrong house. I said, I think you are, you know. And fights, we had a lot of fights, a lot of gang membership.
Well, Sister Catherine is one of the strongest women I've ever met. So I went to Catholic school. I was raised in the Catholic Church. My teachers were nuns. My teachers were nothing like Sister Catherine. You know, you're not going to come in here and spray paint here. You're not going to come in here and, you know, beat up on anybody. You deal with me. She's a badass.
The neighborhood has changed. And we've done nothing overt except to try to be good neighbors. Our intent was, we are here, we're going to be as good a neighbors as we can.
I was here every day for about 5 years. I drove, I cooked, I cleaned, washed a lot of dishes, served meals, did childcare, tutoring, anything that needed to be done. It's as if this was my family and I was doing what you do for your family. Everybody finds their way here that needs to be here at that time in their life.
We're all connected. I'm part of the universe, you're a part of the universe, we're part of each other. There is nothing we're not connected to. I don't get into arguments with atheism or Gnosticism or any of that. I really like to see the people and the person's heart. I have one person who is, I would say, an atheist, very, very good friend, colleague, and he's one of the best people I have ever met in my life. I don't live in a world that says, there's the sheep and the goats, I'm with the sheep and I'm saved and you're not. That's not any place where I go. That's not for me to decide. That's for God to decide. And I think the atheist is on a journey for meaning just as much as I am. Or the agnostic is, and what brought them to agnosticism? It might be the example of those who say that they are believers that said, well, if you're a believer, I don't want to be there. So I think we all share in this.
In 2006, Sister Catherine helped start the Peter Marron Center with the mission of serving unsheltered and marginalized people around Akron, Ohio.
Sister Kate facilitated this whole thing with a man named Joe May. We started serving 25 people. I'd make the main course at home, and now some Sundays we serve 150, but we're all here to serve. We have a tremendous amount of wonderful volunteers.
Once it started to flourish, then it went on its own. It became its own 501c3, became its own ministry, and it has really flourished.
We have a bicycle ministry, we have a clothing ministry, we have a hygiene department where we give away soap, shampoo, toothpaste, about anything you can imagine.
It's a loving environment. People are respected and treated with dignity.
Sister Kate has been tremendous in bringing the Peter Marron Center into existence along with Joe May, while at the same time still running 2 or 3 houses down there, taking in immigrants, taking in poor women and children.
And we're going to put some birthday candles on. This one, after this one. Okay, over here, after.
She's going to challenge people, not just here's a handout for you. She'd be the person who would teach somebody how to fish.
Sister Catherine often says, there is no greater image of God than the person in front of me. And I really believe that. I mean, that she has really challenged me by me seeing what she does. I don't know if I could do what she does. We each have our own gifts, but I mean, she's tremendous and loving people.
Over the years, Sister Catherine has been a friend to many families in need.
The woman is still going strong and just as fierce as the day I met her. I just have to say that, she's full of life, vim, pep, and vigor.
Her legacy is going to far outlive any of us.
She continues to go on, has been just an inspiration to so many, and we're asking ourselves what's going to happen when Sister Kate goes away to the Akron Catholic worker, because she's just been tremendous throughout the years.
Yo siempre digo, el día que nos falte la sister, nos va a faltar mucho.
Good job, Catherine. Good job.
Took me 60 years to do it.
Yes, it was.
I didn't see you before Mass.
No, you didn't. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, aren't you wonderful? Aren't you wonderful, both of you?
Oh, look at that.
I almost bust the camera.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
celebration.
You.
Thank you. It's nice. We
Very
try to
nice.
keep it very simple and very, not too much fuss.
Hey, congratulations.
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Y por el regalo también.
Ellos lo hicieron también.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Here. Thank you. Yeah.
Happy Jubilee.